Hi, this is Ryan with TacSim Media Group at SHOT Show 2024. I'm here with Hess, and it's been a little bit of years since I've followed up with you, and I just want to kind of catch up and see what's going on in your world.
Got a whole bunch going on. We're here with Knight's Armament Company. Got a booth going on. We got a bunch of programs going on, all that sort of fun stuff with Knights. Also, we're doing a lot of stuff after hours with Quantified Performance. And you guys have been around for that whole thing. We started doing stuff together while I was still Army dude and no beard, and then here's the beard. So we got a lot, enough to talk about to burn up the time, and maybe we'll possibly make it interesting.
Awesome. For people that don't know you, Ash, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I did 22 years in the Army. Did a lot of stuff with marksmanship since about 2012. I've been either typing, talking, shooting, or arguing about shooting every day. It's been my profession since 2012. So retired in 2018, started working at Knight's Armament Company, been shooting every day then, and then 2019 started a company on the side. Been to all kinds of schools, done all that sort of things. Even got to go to the Pentagon one time for being able to type really good. So that was kind of fun. And got to eat cake there. Basically, at the high levels of marksmanship, particular Army side start marksmanship, highest levels. Not that I was an AMU shooter or anything like that. But when it comes to doctrine and the qualifications and all that sort of stuff, how 1 million people shoot guns. That's where I was at, and that's the people that I was working with, that's the people that I was fighting with, and all sorts of stuff. So, we kind of turned that. After I retired, I didn't want to be the Army guy for shooting and stuff like that. Started shooting competition, and ended up starting a competition company where I try to get other people to talk and shoot every day. So, Knight's Armoment's been good. We got a bunch of programs going on. We got a light assault machine gun that the Ranger Regiment's picking up. So we just delivered a bunch of them. You'll start seeing them. There's already been some pictures when Rangers do, when they have them out doing events and stuff like that. The light assault machine gun gets there. So that's pretty cool. It's just it's a terrible life that I landed in right now, and just run around and get to be cool, kind of rock star stuff, but not making rock star money.
Yeah, I know the feeling. So yeah, you've been in a lot of different things. So what's the latest on your horizons right now?
Right now we're getting ready to, the Knight's Armament stuff is cool, but just want to talk about Quantified a little bit. We're getting ready to officially start the season. We'll start the season on the East Coast. We already had some matches happen in Arizona. And then now here in a couple of weeks, on the 17th of February, we start on the East Coast matches, and it's going to be going. Basically, we're going to have, by the time we get through the schedule, we're going to have 30 events on the calendar, 12 months out of the year, going all the way from West Virginia down to Florida, all the way out to Arizona. So we're putting 3 Texas on the board. Just was talking to a guy 10 minutes ago, we might put 3 more Texas ones on the board. So we're going to have 30 events throughout the year, and that's getting ready to kick off. So that's kind of what's starting to take focus. We're getting ready to start rolling on that. We're going to be Florida first, then Georgia, then West Virginia, and then we're hitting North Carolina, and it's just kind of a little rotating tour. And then the Texas and Arizona stuff is pretty much going to be towards the fall. So 12 months out of the year, at some place in the country, there's going to be somebody shooting a Quantified Performance match. So when we started out in 2019, we had 60 people shoot in 2019. 2020, we had about 150 people shoot. In 2021, we had about 240. For 23, we had 800 people shoot under the banner, and right now, 20 days into the month, we've got probably 90 people signed up already for the stuff that's happening for the rest of the year. So it's turning kind of into a beast. We're getting people are talking about us on podcasts that we've never even heard of the podcast, so it's starting to go around and. Getting people shooting, and then our finale last year, we gave out $70,000 worth of prizes, and we had 65 shooters. So when you're talking about guns and stuff like that, it doesn't math to everybody got a $1,000 prize, but we gave $70,000 worth of prizes to 65 dudes. So we got Sons of Liberty as a supporter, Knight's Armament's a supporter, Vortex, we do a lot with Vortex, Night Force. Got a whole bunch of sponsors that I'm going to miss somebody because I don't have a cue card in front of me that's telling me, but we got some really strong industry support. We got some really good dudes shooting, some AMU guys, competitors. We give away So if you win the championship, we did a full-on metal and leather 6-pound heavyweight championship belt. That's got the quantified performance stuff on it. We've got one guy that's got 2 of those belts. So he's looking like either a super boxer or a super wrestler guy with all these belts that are hanging on the wall. It's pretty cool.
Nice. It's good to have a little bragging rights, right?
Yeah. So that's something cool. We just didn't want to do like a bowling trophy like everybody else does, or some target that got laser cut. We wanted to do something that was super cool that you can hang on the wall that draws attention. They won a championship. So doing that at those levels is not easy. So we wanted to make something that they would like appreciate and that it would be cool forever.
Mm-hmm. For those that aren't familiar, like why is it not easy? Why is it at a higher level?
It's just these guys, when we first started, it was just dudes shooting guns and having fun, and that's great. You can go out and shoot guns and have a good time. When you start talking about targets that get fairly small and you start talking about time and you start talking about targets that are far away, all of that gets harder. And when you start adding all 3 of those together, a small target, under time, at distance, it gets hard and you need to be on it. Everything is time-based. So, yes, you have 90 seconds to shoot 10 targets, but when you have dudes that are doing that in 28 seconds, that means you really don't have 90 seconds if you want to be competitive. So we've got some people that shooting super fast, and they make you work for it. So if you don't have a gun that runs, if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing with the gun, if you're just blasting, people are, one of the things you see on the internet is people, I'm going to go blast rounds into a trash can. That's cool. That's fun. Go to the 50-yard bay and shoot your rifle, but I'm asking you to shoot anywhere between 100 and 1,000 yards. So you need to know how to do that under time. And once the clock beeps, you don't have time to learn a skill. And so some of these competitors, they have it like programmed in, and they just hammer it. And if you don't have that, you're kind of just flapping in the wind. Mm-hmm. So, and they're the ones that are taking a $3,000 gun off the table, and you're getting a $200 something. Mm-hmm.
So it just comes down to like practice and practicing those skill sets and those techniques.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's just like anything else, any kind of martial art, any of that sort of stuff. You have to get the training to know what you're supposed to be doing. You need to practice it, and you need to keep up with it. And you need to try and improve your skills, and then you need to test those skills in any sort of thing, sparring or some little match or something like that, and against people that you know, and then test it against people that you don't know, and then test it against people that's from far away, because you might be the biggest badass in your gym, but that doesn't mean you're the biggest badass out there everywhere. So, and that's kind of with shooting, there's a bunch of skills that are in that that people kind of glaze over and skip. And I've been shooting since I was a kid, and Grandpappy taught me how to shoot guns, and that's super cool that you can do that on your range, under your conditions, with your gun and all that sort of stuff. But I'm taking all that away from you, and then I put you on the clock. Mm-hmm. So, and then I put you against some good competitors. So that's how something that's super easy. And so I'm going to hit a 400-yard target. Okay, cool. And then I add all those other factors onto it, and it gets super complicated, super fast, and it's just who can work through that rises to the top.
What I like about it is with all these different factors that you're throwing in there, it makes it more realistic. Because you're not, like you said, like if you were practicing for other skill sets and stuff, it's not going to be a perfect target at 400 meters, perfect setup. You're all set up with your nice little bag and everything. Here you got to adapt to different scenarios and different distances, going from 1,000 to something close and back and forth.
Right, and that's what we try to do to it. The closest thing, put it into a military concept is designated marksman. Mm-hmm. And what people, when they talk about the designated marksman, is they don't realize that person's by themselves. The sniper has a buddy, the sniper has a team, they have the things, they have the latest rangefinder, they have all these assets, right? They have a target package, and they do all sorts of things. You watch any sniper movie and hear about all the stuff sniper has. The designated marksman is just a dude with a gun, and he's out with his squad, and he suddenly has to do work. And he might be doing work at 800 yards, or he might be doing work at 5 yards. So what we want to do is, set conditions where people could understand what the DM's supposed to be doing, and then understand what they have to do to apply that. What we've been doing is with my Army connections and people that I know, we've been reaching people that are writing that doctrine or buying the stuff for designated marksmen. They see what they have to do at quantified performance, and then they start trying to apply that to the real tactical scenario, and they realize that the DMs were not getting training, and then that they needed more stuff. So that sort of stuff is coming, and unfortunately they chose a competitor's gun. They chose a HK gun to field. That's a weird thing, but they still fielded a rifle for the DM when it was just they throw an optic at a guy and they just randomly hand it to dude and just be like, hey, you're the designated marksman, and that was the thing. So that's one of the benefits that we're able to do is show that in a competitive environment that's not tactical training. It doesn't look like I'm trying to sell classes. We're not trying to sell classes. We're trying to get people to come to the match. So it lays that context, right? So for people to understand it. And then, people that think they're really good shooters, then they show up and they're a big fish in a little pond, and then they show up into a big pond. They realize pretty quick that they still need work. And that's kind of fun to watch too.
Watch them go through that crucible.
Yeah, it is. I mean, just a lot of tactical instructors and people like that. The big thing for a few years was leave your ego at the door. And one of the things that I want you to bring your ego with you. Bring it, have it in your pocket, wrap it up in bubble tape, because I'm going to put you somewhere that's going to hurt that thing, and it's almost more fun to watch when they have the ego with them, and when it doesn't work out. And I get my humbled every time I go shooting, because I carry my ego with me, and at the end of the day, pick it up out of the dust it off, clean it up, give it a little love pat, put it back in my pocket, and continue on the day. And it's fun to watch people that can't do that, and that's just what we've got to do. So.
It's a growing experience, right? And then even people that have like those skills, but even people that maybe don't have those skills or want to develop them, that's also a place for them to go to and try out what they know and what they don't, find out what they know and what they don't know, right?
Yeah. You don't know what you need to practice. You don't know what you need to learn until you get somewhere and you don't know something, right? And so with that ego, I think I'm good at this thing, and then when I get there and I'm not good at it, that should be note taking. People, not everybody does that, but that should be note taken. So you guys that are out there, if you get whooped on something, take notes or have your buddy take notes. Don't worry, your friends are watching and they're taking notes. So just ask them about it. But that's the things that you need to practice. That's the things that you need to work on. You don't need to buy a new gun. A lot of times people go buy a new gun for it, and that's not the answer. If you couldn't hit the targets because you couldn't get stable enough, it's not the scope, it's not the gun, it's you. So take those notes and then start working down that list of things to work on. Find an instructor that's good at that. It may not, you don't need Scuba Steve or Delta Dan to teach you how to zero a gun, right? You need somebody that knows how to zero a gun well. So when you're getting up to and you start getting into tactics and you start getting into super ninja shit, then you need a super ninja to teach you that stuff, right? So check out your local people, get good, shoot some other types of matches, shoot, all sorts of things, get that data, learn those skills, come out and try it again, see how you do. If you improve, you're on the right path. If you don't improve, you took time down a wrong turn, the wrong road, and turn around, come back, start over and start a new path.
Awesome. Coming up on like wrapping this up, but do you have any other things that you want to hit before we wrap it up? We've got a bunch of stuff going on. QuantifiedPerformance.com. We just launched another website called ShootingContentHub.com. And basically what that is, that's just a spot where anything that was shooting, you're going to start seeing content appear on that. We just hard launched that website this week. So it's a little bland right there right now, but we're getting that sort of stuff, and that's just going to be kind of a one-stop shop to kind of see, the stuff that we're seeing at our level that's good content. Not only is there going to be content there, but it's going to be curated and good content. It's just this guy said something that made sense to me that looks good, and just kind of hit that, and that should kind of help lay out the path, whatever you're doing. And that's pistol. What's cool about that is that's pistol, rifle, archery, anything if you're shooting something, wrist rocket, whatever, there's going to be some content on there.
And I've got a little kid, so if Jasper happens to see this, I got a kid named Jasper Jones that we're working with. And Jasper's, I think he's 12 years old now. We've been talking to him for about 2 years now. Jasper started into archery. And so we started, I don't do archery, I don't understand archery, but I understand, shot processes and things like that. So we started working with Jasper. Jasper went from kind of showing up in an event, and the last couple things that he did, he's in second and third place in his division. So awesome. Quantified's kind of a little sponsor for him, and we're taking care of him. And that kid, he's learning about competitive, and he's applying sports psychology and all that sort of, like 12 years old.
That's awesome.
So he's learning that on a bow. And so when he turns 18, he's already got the shot process down and the sports psychology and all that sort of stuff. And if he decides to go into guns, or he stays in archery and all that sort of stuff, that kid's going to be a competitor. So you're going to start seeing some stuff with Jasper and things like that, because we're just going to shoot him a couple notes, ask him some questions, kind of do a little blog like article, because I don't want him to be like on an interview, not knowing what to do with his hands, because he's a good kid, but he's 12 years old, right? So we just ask him some questions, get some answers. That stuff that I can put on Shooting Content Hub that doesn't fit with Quantified, right? It gets kind of niche. So that's just kind of, we got all kinds of irons in the fire and everything going, and it's been fun, and we're going to continue to have more fun and just have a good time.
Awesome, man. It's so good to link up back with you here at SHOT Show 24. Man, dude.
Yeah, always good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's the best part of the show.
Yeah, awesome.